We'll know in a moment. And we're live. It's Adam Post with his newest, bestest buddy in the world, Jerry Brown.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Jerry. How you doing?
Hey, Adam.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hey, we've got Jay Lee saying hi. You're watching me and Ethan at the same time. That should blow your mind. I didn't realize Ethan was streaming. But hey, it happens sometimes. It can be busy. Violet, great to see you. Thanks for showing up, and thanks for sharing the stream as you always do, Violet. You are fantastic that way. And Jaylee has an hour to do things. We're going to get this party started. I actually hadn't heard of your project before, Jerry, until you'd messaged me. We were I think we spoke once, and then I was kind of looking at it, and I'm like, hey, this is a pretty cool looking project.
Yeah, it's
nice
cool
art.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like it. Carlos Trigo from Spain did the art. And he's a great artist. He's like got that Samurai Jack, that Clone Wars, Travasky kind of feel, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Whenever
my Mermaids guy, Spain as well. I was connected with a friend of mine, an artist agent in Spain. And he put a couple of really good guys into Marvel and some of the other indie companies. And we just knew each other through a couple of editors. And it was a great connection. There's some really great talent all over the world. I love the idea, though, of trying to work with American talent, especially now because I'm really trying to get our storytelling in the art to like really match the script even closer than we did before. So, but anyway, you just figure whoever you can collaborate with, wherever they are all over the world.
The only drawback is that you can't have the signed comics because it's just too expensive to ship. Ship there and then ship back, or ship there and then ship to the backer. So
yeah, it's much harder, but it could be signed by the new famous writer Jerry Brown.
That's right. I can sign it for you.
So this is Evermatter. So you are the writer and creator. Did you co-create this with this artist, or is this pretty much all?
It's totally my creation. I'm the writer, the creator, and it's Carlos brought it to life.
Artists are amazing that way, huh?
Yeah.
Do you do any art at all? I stopped when I was 10 years old, so I can't. As people say, I can't draw a straight line.
I do some graphic art, which is totally different. Logos and stuff like that. But I don't do any kind of like drawing by hand. I do it, but it's not it's third grade level, like you said. But
you have a sense of composition, so you guys have a basis for communication. Your artist does speak English, right?
That's right. Yeah, he's a great English speaker. I tried to get him on stream last night, but it was 2:00, and he was like,
they could be very shy. My Spanish artists are very shy. Nah, man, I don't want to. I'm like, all right, it's cool. You don't have to. Then you trick them into it. Come on, baby, you're gonna love it. That's what you have to tell them, Jerry.
Yeah. Come on, man.
No, to the extent that they're comfortable, but what people just want to like get to know who's the guy who makes the project and what's the project about. And what's funny is I find it myself. So I talk to my friends about it. I talk to some new creators about it. We really do owe it to the backers and the rest of the comics community to be able to, like, in a 20-second pitch. Ethan likes to refer to it as a 20-second pitch, Ethan Van Sciver. And he's right. He's like, 20 seconds. We should be able to tell people like what our book's about. But I have a feeling you're very prepared, to be honest. I could be wrong. Jerry, what's Evermatter? Let's hit it. What's Evermatter about?
Okay, a young girl finds that she is in possession of the most valuable substance in the universe, Evermatter. And that's the pitch for book 1. Less than 20 seconds.
Boom. Very efficient. And so she kind of like discovers like, hey, what the hell is this? It's Evermatter.
It's Evermatter. And it's what it is if you could bind your life force to a crystal and you could live forever, if that crystal would give you a power, a random power, would you bind your life force to that? And would you fight for it? Would you kill for it? And that's exactly what Evermatter is. It was the first matter ever in the universe that created everything else. And that's exactly what it does. When you bind your life force to it, you live forever.
You get a choice?
You have a choice. You have a choice to. What happens is the galaxy. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little background story. Mm-hmm. Okay, so thousands of years ago, the Tooth Day Danon and the Fomorians, which are a pantheon of gods in the Celtic mythology, had a war. They were always warring back and forth, and then the Dantutannon finally defeated the Fomorians. And what happened was Lu, a warrior god, was able to shoot the eye out of Balor, who had an eye that could just whatever it looked at, it would destroy. And so he shot his eye out, and the eye turned around backwards, and it destroyed his own army. Well, that's where Evermatter takes place, because Kira, the main character, or one of the main characters, was at that battle. And she saw her world destroyed. She saw her heritage destroyed. She saw everything that she loved destroyed in that battle. Even though the enemy was defeated, it destroyed her world in the process.
So she lost her. Did she lose her whole family, all her friends?
She lost everything. She lost everything that she loved. She lost her entire, the entire place. But Evermatter gave Kira the ability to warp from any place that she sees or to any place she's been before, and she was able to survive by warping away. And so she's the lone survivor of her race, of her people.
Now, does Evermatter want anything from her? Has she made an exchange? I mean, she has a sacrifice that she's binding herself to the crystal, but
okay. So what happens is the Toothday Dannon after that.
I have to interrupt and say you've chosen the coolest letterer in all of the realm of Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Eric Weathers. And guys, just so you know, I was kind of wondering, Eric just happened to make a comment today. I think he does have some time available for lettering. So if anybody's looking for lettering, definitely hit up Eric Weathers. I don't know his rates. I'm sure they're reasonable, but feel free to hit up Eric Weathers on Twitter. I always feel like maybe he's a little too, I've never gotten to work with him yet. So I don't know if he's like, how expensive he is, his work is very, very good. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's too fancy for me, which is kind of ridiculous. I know him very well. I should just ask him. But in any event, it's very cool to see it. Eric is going to be on your team, because lettering really does complement a book. He's very reasonable. He's very efficient as well. So I like him a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
I like his work, and I like his attitude too. He's also been funnier than ever lately.
Yeah, I see him on Sweetcast. On streams. On streams a lot. So he's very relatable.
Sorry, but anyway, So that's another big plus, guys. This is going to be a very polished looking book.
But the Toothday Dannon, what happened after that war is that they began distributing this Evermatter to one representative of each world, kind of like the Green Lantern, So they would distribute the Evermatter to one representative of each world, and that representative of that world, they had a council, what they call a council of binds, and every century or so that council of bind meets, and they talk intergalactic politics, which this is just kind of background story, but they talk intergalactic politics, and they and like I said, they represent their world. And in Evermatter, the outer realm, where it's less populated, they have these rumblings and these whispers that the Fomorians are making a resurgence, and the people that live in the inner part of the galaxy, they don't really believe it because they can't see it for themselves. It's kind of like if you can't see it, it's like not me. There.
I'm the same way, and that limits me, but it protects me.
Yeah,
I live a simple life because of this.
Ignorance is bliss. Is that the phrase they say?
I'm really happy about it. I gotta be honest. Like, it goes great, but then the thing is, sometimes life does pass you by. It's like I didn't take a chance, so you have to kind of make a choice.
Yeah,
I don't know, but so she chose the crystal.
Well, the Dantutannon, the pantheon of gods that are now ruling in peace throughout the galaxy because the Fomorians are defeated, they actually chose her to represent her world. Of course, she don't have a world now. She's kind of a bind without a world because
a bind. B-I-N-D.
Yeah.
Okay.
B-I-N-D.
So bind with a crystal, they're considered a bind.
That's correct.
Okay.
So
when I get myself in a bind, it's a different story.
Well, there's several different kinds of binds. Some good, some bad. But she don't have a world to represent. So because it was destroyed, but she is out for revenge because she hears these rumblings going on in the outer rim, and she feels like because the Dantutannon, they feel like they've kind of put down their swords for pins. It's then become more political. It's like a political thing, and she feels like they're cowards because they're not meeting the threat head on, and she's ready to fight.
Interesting. And the bind doesn't mind that she's down for, like, the Crystal authorities don't mind that she's out for revenge?
Well, it's not really a thought that they have about, it's she's just kind of she's a separate entity than she represents her world, but like I said, it's kind of it's kind of like a council. So, each person each being is kind of coached and pushed along, gently. This is the path you should take. But
it's like a really cosmic story, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. It's
a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Jerry, have you written comics before?
No, I haven't. This is I've written stories before, but this is my first attempt at a comic.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it does sound interesting. Hey, it's Rick Sale, Rob the Replicator. There he is again, replicating. He's everywhere, Rob the Replicator. Faris says hi. Good to see you, Faris. Hope you're doing good. Jay Lee says hi again. Jay Lee greets everyone. I appreciate that, Jay Lee. Rick Sailor, hail to the postman. Absolutely, hail to the postman. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. I think you have a really cool choice of artists. Does he do the coloring as well?
Yeah, he did the art and the coloring.
Where did you find this guy?
I found him on Facebook. He was. I seen some of his work, and like I said, I was looking for somebody that had that Clone Wars type of feel, and that's who I saw his work, and he was like, "I'm free. I've got some time. Does anybody have anything they want me to do?"
The guy who did this too on Facebook. The pencils, the design, and then the colorist was from another person from Spain. Yes, Facebook is a great resource, guys, for finding artists. It just takes, like anything else, takes a lot of time. You better be ready to spend some time. And just a suggestion, I don't know if you did this or not, Jerry, but don't get really hung up on rates. Like, how much should I pay? How much should I offer? Different people are at different points in their career. Different people have other competitive work. You should never take advantage of anyone. Should always pay whatever you promise. But there's nothing wrong with asking someone, well, what is your rate? What is your professional rate? What do you get? And then see if it's something that you can afford. If you can afford to pay them even more, pay them even more, because artists are amazing. And, we should take care of them as best we can. But at the same rate, we have to be so incredibly careful that when we commit to this work, that's it. Even if someone says, I kind of do it on the side, money is money. And people, especially now, they really need their money. So just be very clear, very direct, and very upfront. And also, just as a quick aside, sometimes people don't know what they can handle. So if someone's like, well, I'll just split the profits with you, be careful that they can really afford to do that. They may not be in a position, or they may not really have a realistic expectation. So Jerry, have you hired, you're a graphic designer, so you've done freelance, you've been paid and not paid freelance before. I'm sure.
I have. Right? I've been on both sides.
That's the freelance game. So I'm sure you had a nice like a good direct back and forth with your talent before you started, right?
That's correct. We also had something that I was very adamant on, was that he was able to sign a contract, because I didn't want somebody claiming that it belonged to them after they, I didn't want somebody to run off of my story, because at that time I didn't know the guy. Yeah. I know him now, and I know what kind of person he is now, but even so.
Even when you know people, like have a long relationship, the purpose of a contract is just to have like a photograph of what we agreed to, a perfect photograph. And then if things change over the years, and sometimes things do, for things you can't control. Sometimes it's you made a deal with an artist and his wife doesn't like the deal that you made, and then you're dealing with his wife in divorce court. It's wacky things happen. Well, I'll be honest with you. You could very easily have a business partner, and then your business partner gets married after you start your business, and then they made bad decisions, or the partner's wife or spouse made bad decisions. All of a sudden, you've got a business problem. Like things that you had not a damn thing to do with. So exactly right. You do want to have it on. You do want to have it on paper. Oh, cool. Jay Lee's got a book coming out in October. All right. Well, back in October it came out. I got it. Well, Yeah, Jay Lee, if we have something to promote too, hit me up on Twitter too. We can definitely talk about it. So that's cool. Yeah, definitely a contract's good. You don't need a fancy contract you need a contract that is a basic, work for hire, and then that says who owns what, and then you can agree to royalties or whatever. But whatever it is, just make it up front and try to have stuff really in writing, and everybody knows what they're agreeing to, and that they're old enough. They're not like a 15-year-old kid and stuff like that.
So that being said, the art on the book and the cover is completely finished.
Nice.
Eric has got the files right now. He said he would actually have some lettering to me tonight at some point or tomorrow.
I love him.
So he's on it, and
he's making this book. He's putting this thing together as we speak.
That's right. Yeah, he said he would have to work to me tonight or tomorrow. So I would have some pages with lettering on it probably tomorrow evening.
That's a fun update to the campaign.
Yeah, yeah, and I can't wait to see what he does.
So your book is it all drawn already?
Yeah, everything's done. It's colored. Cool. All it is Eric doing the lettering, and then we'll have to go to. Of course, you have to do a pre-press and some editing, and we'll get a proof. We'll edit again, and then it'll be ready to print. So
and you have this very safely scheduled for September 2021. So there's plenty of time. Yeah, I really like this page. This is very cool.
I do like that, how the Fomorian is coming out of the dark, and it's just kind of, I really, really like that. Of course, that's why it's on my campaign page, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's the stuff that, you want to really give them a feel for how cool the book is. Very nice. It's nice. Let's play your trailer. I know it's not long, but let's give it a whirl.
Okay.
The Council of Binds has grown arrogant. The power and wisdom of the Tooth of Danann has gone unchallenged for millennia. Peace has lured them into a deep sea of complacency, but it's always there, lurking, waiting, just outside the light, building, growing, anticipating. Evil never gives up. The lust for power, it will return. And when it does, it will have to go through me. I am Bind Kiran. The spirit of Eru lives within me. I watched Balor fall to the hand of Lu as my world was destroyed. I fight for the Council of Binds. I fight for the Tooth of Danann. I fight for what remains my world. I fight for my people. But most of all, I fight for revenge.
Looking good.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, it is launching soon, but of course, it's already available right now as we speak on Indiegogo. All right. Now let's take a look at the tiers on here.
Okay.
Now, by the way, who is this guy with this hammer-looking thing? He's pretty cool.
Okay, that's Dagda. He is actually the father-type figure of the gods, kind of like you would probably most relate him to Odin.
Okay.
And so he's got Dagda is really cool. He's got this, in the Celtic mythology, he's really cool. He's got this staff or this club. And if he swings it, he can kill 7 men. And then, so the legends say, and if he turns the staff over, he uses the handle, then he can bring life back to the fallen. So
he can kill you and he can bring you back to life.
That's right. He's a
one-stop shop.
Yeah.
He's the 7-Eleven of the gods. I will kill you and I will bring you back to life. Ha ha!
He's like, what are those things called that you put together and you clear? They stop you hard or bring it back.
Exactly. Code Red. Code Red. Yeah. We need to get this guy back to life. Call this cool dude. Yeah, all right. I like it. Yeah, and nice design. He really get great perspective. Dramatic.
Yeah, and he's got the Celtic 5, the 5 circle, the circle of rings there. That's a lot. You'll see a lot in Celtic mythology.
Is this your guy's first published work too?
No, this is he's done several books. He's actually got a book called Silver Fox. He's got a book called He's got Crimson something. I forgot the last part of that title, but he's got several books. I wanted to make sure when I got my artist that he had finished a book.
Yeah, that's
one of my criteria.
Very good, man. You're not saying it helps having been in freelance because you're like, have you ever done a comic before? It's like you really, when you hire people, you want people that can repeat success. Whatever that is you're hiring them for.
Yeah, a lot of people can throw up a pinup, and a lot of people could throw up a couple pages of sequentials. But when it comes to doing, this is 32 pages. When it comes to doing a full book,
yeah, that's not a joke. So you want someone that's done hundreds of pages before, at least.
Yeah,
exactly. You can learn on somebody else. It's so true. Like you really do want somebody with experience. It makes life possible. All right, let's talk some of these cool tiers. So you have a featured tier that's the collector's bundle. What's in the collector's bundle?
Okay, so you get the Evermatter, the 32-page full color comic.
Okay.
You get the artist book, which is just the inks, no lettering, no anything. You can follow the art. There's no speech bubbles over any of the art or anything like that.
It's black, all black and white original art.
All black and white original art. It's cool. And then you have the 11 by 17 Gary print, which is the print of the alien you see there.
That blue
and yeah. And then you have your name is in the book, and the book ships. Your book ships first, and every perk that you buy includes the digital version. Some of the backers on some of the other streams were saying, "Hey man, I really want the physical version, but I travel, so I need a digital version, so I don't have to pack like every comic that I have." Yeah, so I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. I can do that."
I've thought about that too. Like, I haven't sold any digital versions yet of stuff I've done, but it does seem like it makes sense to give people a digital version of whatever they buy at every tier. So, I mean, if you're not, whether or not you're offering a digital, just because people do look at their comics in different ways. So, you have somebody like, one of the major Comicsgate projects that are doing, $200,000 campaigns. Maybe they don't want to put out their digital titles, but for smaller projects like what you're doing, or even what I'm doing with the Mermaids, who is it going to hurt if when we ship the books, we also send digital files to people to kind of mess around with, and obviously it's not an expensive thing for us to do. So I like you're doing that.
Yeah, thank you. But the tiers are not, the perks are not going to show like where it says included items. They don't show the digital version because I'd already launched the campaign. Okay. And they won't let you change the perk after. Once you have a backer, you can't change the perk. So
we'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
We'll take your word for it. You're good people. Now this 11/17 print, you have to fold that when you send it, right?
That's correct.
All right, so that's going to be folded once in the middle.
Yes, that's right.
Cool. I will say, I give you compliments for knowing the size of your print that you're including. Some people don't. Some people. And other people from another country will say it's A7.5. I'm like, I don't know what that is. We don't know what that is. Come on. A5? You don't know A5? It's like 9 by 12.5. Like, I come on. But no, it's very cool that you have like an understandable like size for the print. So that is cool. Yeah. And shipping something like 11/17 flat is really difficult and would be very expensive for the backer.
Yeah,
so
it's just not economical to ship it.
It's reasonable to fold it.
Yeah.
You may not be able to fit that in a Gemini mailer if it's 11 by 17.
Also, just so you know, the PDF, the digital version, I'm shipping it's coming with the high res print as file as well. So if you didn't like the fold, if you just couldn't stand the fold in the middle, you'd be able to take it by a shop and have it printed, a sign shop or something, and have it printed yourself.
It didn't occur to me, but you could do that, couldn't you?
So yep. So I'm I'm sending that file with the digital version of the book.
Well, that's taking things pretty far. And we also give you an InDesign file in case you want. No, we don't go that.
No,
we don't do InDesign files. Okay. Now, if people just want a digital copy and you want to just get the digital copy, you can get a digital copy with the regular book, 32-page book, as a digital file. Obviously, as a PDF, which is pretty cool. The Conscript. What is this?
It's just the physical copy.
This is the physical comic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the physical also includes the digital.
That's correct.
Gotcha. The book plus an 11x17 print of Gary. Gary is not a guy. I do know a couple guys named Gary, but it's this blue guy who's part of your story. Who is Gary again in the story?
Okay, so Gary, he's a psychopath. Really, he's sadistic, kind of, because he really, like, what makes him happy is killing and destroying things. But he gets like these. His people are based on like gray aliens, so they're infatuated with humans and everything human. It's kind of like a hobby for them, I guess. So they get these old television broadcasts and stuff from Earth. So he has seen Top Gun, and he fancies himself Maverick. That's why he's got the jacket and then the print. He's got the shades, and he's got the. So I guess you could best describe him as if you saw Guardians of the Galaxy, where like Rocket Raccoon's like, oh yeah, that would be probably most like Gary.
So he's kind of a crazy, fun alien.
Yeah, he's super witty, got witty personality. Just a smart aleck. But he's very loyal to his friends. So,
well, it's good. We could all use more of that. Why not?
Yeah.
Right. Every now and then you need somebody helping out with stuff. All right. Now the book and the artist edition.
Okay, that comes with the physical. They're both physical, but the comes with the colored lettered edition, the normal Evermatter comic, full color, 32 pages. And then it comes with the black and white, just the inks. No speech bubbles, no anything. Just
no lettering,
no lettering, no captions. Just no. A lot of times I get books and some are lettered. They're not. Everybody's not Eric Weathers, right? So you get a book and like there's a speech bubble right over somebody's like face or something stupid like that, and you're like, what?
That's true. There's some mediocre and some bad lettering. But the art is like, you can really love the art. I mean, there's always something, that's great in the art somewhere. I did that with College of the Dead, book 1 and 2. We did these art editions that were like one panel per page because the books were designed 6 panels per page. So it was one panel per page for like 220 pages or something like that. And they're beautiful. People really love those books. People really like that kind of stuff. They really do. Yeah, especially once they get to see it.
I thought it'd be cool. It's kind of like you kind of see before the lettering the coloring is applied, so you kind of see what it looks like. It's just neat. It's interesting to me, and I thought it'd be interesting to other people just to see, the before and the after. You can kind of like lay the 2 books out if you wanted to, and kind of look at, this is what it looks like with the coloring. This is what it looks like without.
It's funny because we're like. Infatuated with the same aspects of producing the comics, whether it's the black and white or like what we do with the Mermaids. I'll show you quickly. What we do with the Mermaids is, and we did this at College of the Dead too. I work with a writer to get these written, so we wind up with a full script. So like in our making of book, where is it? All right, our making of book has the full script, which is formatted really like a movie script. And then the layouts for each of the pages. And that way you can put that making of book right next to the actual book and kind of see where it went from script, sometimes with photo reference too, that we provide to the artist, as well as the layouts to then the final page. And it's a hell of a lot of fun to show people the in progress stuff. Making this stuff is incredibly fun, isn't it?
It's really cool because, like in my script, if you were to look at my script, it has like parentheses, note to artist, and then it'll have, it might be like a move from a light color to dark color as the mood changes or whatever, and sometimes, a lot of times he'll create something and I'm like, man, that's perfect. And then, it's just like any other project. You're going to have the give and take on it, but I think it came out really well.
Jim O'Reilly in the chat. Jim is a great artist too. Every now and then you'll see a piece he does. Jim wants to see more of the art, and happy to show you. This is one of my favorite pages, Jim. What's the artist's name again?
It's Carlos Trigo. You can find him at Carlos Trigo on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, very dynamic. A lot of energy, a lot of movement. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. This is Esme that's in the car with the Fomori in there. She's the young girl that finds herself in possession of the Evermatter, and everybody's trying to kill her for it. So or the Fomorians are trying to kill her for it.
He's not a really young guy, is he? He looks like he's just so confident.
He's I've seen him. I haven't asked him his age. He's
okay.
30-ish. You know, he's in his 30s.
Okay.
Young.
He's
young
like he's done a lot of work. He's like he's polished. He knows what he's going to do before he does it, and he knows when it's done.
Yeah, I made some changes, and he's like, Jerry, you have to tell me these things beforehand. You know, because he's got it planned out in his in his.
Well, does he give you rough layouts to go from?
Oh yeah. You get he'll give you the rough layouts, and then you'll get the inks, and then you'll get the and then once you approve the inks, he'll give you the final coloring.
Okay.
And sometimes because his style is so vibrant, you know, sometimes we have made tweaks after I've gotten the color as well. So he's very flexible as far as that goes.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Seems like a good guy. Jim O'Reilly, do you have any questions? Tells the story. Exactly. That's the whole point of the art. Keeps you engaged. It looks like he's amping up the drama every opportunity he gets as well. I was talking with Jose Garcia. Let me sure I got his last name right. He's one of the Comicsgate guys. He has a project coming out soon. Yeah, Jose Garcia. And oh my God, his work is so dynamic. Kind of an anime style, like an anime / manga style. And yeah, he's done storyboarding. And the guys who've done storyboarding really seem to get it. Like they really amp up the drama. They make it interesting and engaging. And it was like you found yourself a great artist, for that as well. So it's very cool. You
got Charlie over there drawing with two hands, where he's come from commercial background. And so, yeah.
It's nice.
Those guys know what they're doing. But
interesting.
And then
Jay Lee said looks really good.
Thank you, Jay Lee.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say the cover as well on this campaign. This is going to be the only time you're going to be able to get this cover with just the white background.
Okay.
So the next, because this is a series, when book 2 comes out, you're not going to be able to get that same cover. This is going to be the only time I print it. So.
Oh, very cool.
So and then when book 2 comes out, there'll be a white version of it as well, and so you could collect those covers as you go through there. Yeah.
Got it. That's cool. All right. So this is going to be an ongoing series. What's the plan?
Okay, I got a book. Well, of course, this book is the art is completely finished. Eric Weathers has got the book doing the lettering. As soon as so I'm going to take the money because I funded that book. I'm going to take I just out of pocket the art and everything. So I'm going to take the money that I have left over from printing and from shipping and from printing all the goodies. I'm going to take that money to fund book 2. So
you're not going to buy GameStop stock with it?
I think the people left in that really, I think is the ones they keep kind of the ones that are stuck in it.
Yeah, now is a bad time for buying meme stocks.
Now, if I could have got in it early.
Yeah, although I was just reading an article on this financial website, Zero Hedge, talking about how they're going after the guy Roaring Kitty that made all the money, the really nice guy. Yeah, Jim O'Reilly has some financial advice as well. Do not buy GameStop stock.
That's
me and a couple of friends were talking about it last week, and I was like, "Yeah, I could kind of throw a little money. We're going to get these." And we're like, "Nah, you know what? We don't know what this stuff is." And then, you know what? I think really made the decision for me about it was I would have bought it with the expectation that, all right, this could very easily be totally worthless. Yeah. So that means if you're going to buy it and you expect like good chances it'll be worthless, then you should buy options because then you get a risk return where you're assuming like, all right, well, if this goes up to the sky, you make a fortune because you get all this, extra whatever leverage. And then I started looking at what options were all about. And I was like, all right, it's too complicated. Forget this. Luckily.
There's one guy in chat. He's like,
nice.
Why would you buy GameStop?
Jay Lee is smart. He put money into Golden Age Comics 25 years ago. That's a good idea.
Wow, Jay Lee.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Well, that could be the same as buying Evermatter right now, 25 years from now. We'll all probably be alive 25 years from now, but it will be a little bit older, that's all. And Evermatter will be up to issue number 400.
Hopefully, I've
25
got
years is a long time.
So I've got book one. Like I said, the art and everything's complete. You know, I went through that spiel. I got book two. The script is ready to go. Just waiting on to. I really need to get this funded to do book two, and
one book at a time.
One book at a time. I got book two ready, and then 3, 4, and 5. I've got more than outlines on those. So I mean, they're ready to go.
And this is your first 30 days?
This is the first 30 days. That's correct.
Okay, cool. And this is the first campaign you've done?
This is the first campaign I've done.
All right. So look, the only thing, if you want my 2 cents on campaign feedback, I'll give you something you can't change. First of all, it's great that you're a fixed goal, not flexible, because flexible goal says, hey, even if I don't get funded, you probably won't get your money. Like if I don't get funded, I'm going to keep this money. Right. You don't get the book. You don't get your money back. That's the flexible is it's an extra burden for the backers. So it's very cool that it's fixed. 5,000 is a little high. Not that you don't need the money, because these are expensive to produce these books.
Yeah.
I know firsthand. And then there's always extra costs. And Eric Weathers, I'm sure he's reasonable, but he can't work for free. So a lot of the stuff costs money, but ideally, you try to hit a ceiling of 3,000. And here's the reason why I bring that up is just when people look at it and they're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to get funded or not, at least because you're fixed. If they feel like it might not get funded, then they get their money back. But it's hard. I did the same thing, except I did it dumber than you. I'm much dumber. Yours is logical. What I did was a $5,000 flexible goal when I really didn't know anybody. And I wasn't on any shows. It was like, so I would get to the point where it was like a couple of weeks in and I had like maybe $1,000 and people were like, is he going to get funded or is Adam just going to keep all the money? So I found myself on every stream telling people like, look, I know it says flexible, but I'm going to ship it anyway. And it just got,
it's so kind of like you're trying to prove yourself, trying to prove that you're an honest guy because nobody knows you, or
that it's realistic, even that it's going to get funded. It's like, it's rough. This is a really cool looking campaign. It's an interesting concept. It is a high goal, but the thing is, like I said, I've already funded the first book, so I'm having to pay for the shipping for it, the printing for it. And the and I'm trying to fund the next one
and help myself out. But
so just worst case scenario, God forbid, if this didn't fund, you can't give up. There's no giving up like on any projects. You just come back. You come back with a lower goal. More people will have awareness. You're welcome to come back with me. If I can help, you're welcome to be on the show. And you just, not that it's not going to get funded, of course. I'm just saying, I always tell new people, like, don't get discouraged. Just, we always stay at it no matter what. But this is a beautiful looking project.
Yeah. Well, Shay, Red Valkyrie, she slapped my hand last night because she's like, what stream were you on when you launched? And I was like, well, I just kind of launched, and she got on to me for that. So I should have scheduled all the streams ahead of time. And
you kind of learn as you go, but also people don't know who the hell you are. I mean, when you reached out to me, I was like, I don't know who the hell you are. And you're like, oh, it's Evermatter. Like, well, what's Evermatter? Yeah. And then I clicked on the link and I saw this guy and I was like, oh, this is like a pretty cool project. Then I screened down and I was like, all right, this is interesting looking. Let's get this guy, on and get the word out about this. What happens with the streams too, and I did not know this when I got started, was it's not, you're promoting your book and hopefully we get a ton of backers tonight on my show, but, hopefully you get backers, but as important is that other people see your book so they kind of know who you are, so that when everybody's kind of talking about everybody. And, Rob Arnold was in the stream before, so he does a lot on the How to Draw Comics stream. So, Clayton says, hey, do you know this Evermatter guy? He sent me a message on Twitter, and Rob is like, oh, yeah, he was just on Adam's channel, whatever. So you kind of word gets out. So it's funny with social media, like even your backers are influencers, and even your backers who are not influencers, they're just like customers, they still can help sharing the campaign. That's if you guys share it on social media, that's very appreciated. So just as you get around, more influencers see you, and it's a great community. It just takes a little while to be above the noise and for people to kind of know who the heck you are. And then even when they do know who you are. Not every project's going to do the same as every other. So like College of the Dead Graduation Day did much more than College of the Dead book 1, but the Mermaids has done more than College of the Dead, but less than College of the Dead Graduation Day. It's kind of like you really don't know what you're going to get when you kind of get out there a little bit. But yeah, she gives great advice like that. So it's good. And by the way, I think what she's talking about is on the day that you launch, it would have been great to be on a few streams for your first launch day. But that's not easy to arrange, especially for people that you don't know. But
yeah, it's kind of like sorry,
no, not at all.
It's kind of like you said. I reached out to you and you're like, "Who's this guy?" And if you don't have your project up so people can see, you let me on the stream because you saw my project. So it's kind of hard to reach out to somebody that you don't know, that you haven't met before, and say, "Hey, I got this project coming up," and they're like, really don't know who this guy is. So it's kind of a catch-22 there,
Jim has got a good question. Jim is saying, is it true that a $3,000 fixed goal is the best way to go for a newbie? The thing is, Jim, the best thing to do, and I know your art is great, and I'm sure you have ideas and things like that of books that you'd want to do. The best thing is pick a project that you're passionate about, so that when you're on a live stream, let's say instead of me talking to Jerry, I'm talking to Jim O'Reilly, and I'm like, "Jim, what's up?" And you're like, "Adam, thank you so much for having me on. I'm going to tell you about my project. It's called, Razor Fist," who is a YouTuber, but not Razor Fist, but it's whatever project it is, the next Razor Man, whatever it is. And then you can passionately say, "Look, here's what it's about. It's the story of this and the story of that," something that you really feel like you can connect to, and something that when you show the art, people say, "That looks cool." You want to do a passion project, but not something that's too self-indulgent. Because if you do and this isn't about you, Jim, just we do as creators, even me as the Mermaids. The reason I'm doing the Mermaids is I really wanted to do the Mermaids. It's not because people were banging my door down saying, "Mr. Zombie Comic Guy, would you please do a book on mermaids?" No one said that to me. So, that is going to cost money. If you do something that people are interested in, kind of fits the Comicsgate cool 90s power vibe and stuff like that, the power fantasy vibe, then you've got something that people are going to be interested in. So the point is, really make sure that you just pick a project that you can live with, really even for a couple of years, because you're not going to be like me and do multiple projects. And frankly, even with me, it's hard to change gears into multiple projects. So whatever you pick, assume you're going to live with it for like 2 years or 5 years. It's hard to do something, even one good new thing a year that's different. The other thing is, mention it to some people that you can, if you want to bounce something off me, just about anybody listening to this is welcome to. I mean, just about anybody. I don't know who I'm talking to. So, but you can message me. I'll give you feedback and be like, "Yeah, this is the idea I was thinking of," and I'll give you my 2 cents on it. Anybody else can. But just the project you pick is important. Once you've picked the project, if you have a sign-up page, which costs nothing, you can run it for 6 months on Indiegogo. You can try to get people to sign up for the project. That way, all right, some people are showing some interest. A sign-up is not a sale, but a sign-up shows some interest. So if you don't have a sign-up page, like I don't think you did for Evermatter because I don't think I saw it.
I had one.
Did you? All right. I don't know why I didn't see it. Maybe we didn't get you around enough.
Yeah.
How many people did you have on that, if you don't mind my asking?
I didn't have many. I had like
less than 100.
Less than 100. But I did get some sales from the sign-up page, so it is important.
If you get at least 100, if you don't have 100, this is what I tell people with the sign-up page, and I'm right about this. If you don't have 100, do not launch the campaign. Why? It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean your idea isn't good. It just means you haven't gotten around enough. This is a cool enough concept. It's cool enough art, Evermatter. Even your trailer is cool. It's all cool enough that we all should have been more aware of it. So 100 is a good number. It's not enough to do big numbers, but it's enough to be like, all right, at least there are some influencers who are aware of my project when I'm going to launch it. As far as a goal dollar-wise, once you've really picked your project and you've street tested a little bit, and you make sure that you're passionate about the project, but it's not like a self-indulgent thing that you're doing. It's something that like you like it, you love your project, but it's not just like something. Ethan talks about sometimes how he'd like to do a graphic novel. I think about I forgot what the subject is. I don't know, like the murder of JFK or something like that. And it's not like really, it's not even as commercial as that. It's a different idea. But he knows that if he spent all the time and energy doing that, he would not be anywhere near as successful as Rainbow Brute or his next Cyberfrog book. So you may have to make a real decision of like, well, what am I going to do project-wise versus is it going to be commercial enough? Because you could do whatever you want to do. But if you have a project that does, like Mermaids right now is at 10,500, it's fine. We'll make a little money. We'll ship the book. But if I had done something that might have been more commercial, maybe it would have been 50,000 by now. It is what it is. We learn our lessons. So was it worth it? Like, well, ask me off the stream. I'm happy to do it. I'm glad people are back in my Mermaids campaign. But, we all pay the price for the decisions that we make. I am going to play the video again to check out Evermatter because the video is really cool and Jim is asking for it specifically. So here we go. Get ready to get Evermattered.
The Council of Binds has grown arrogant. The power and wisdom of the Tooth of Danann has gone unchallenged for millennia. Peace has lured them into a deep sea of complacency, but it's always there, lurking, waiting, just outside the light, building, growing, anticipating. Evil never gives up. The lust for power, it will return. And when it does, it will have to go through me. I am Bind Kira. The spirit of Eru lives within me. I watched Balor fall to the hand of Lu as my world was destroyed. I fight for the Council of Binds. I fight for the Tooth of Danann. I fight for what remains my world. I fight for my people. But most of all, I fight for revenge.
Revenge is a powerful motivator.
It is a powerful motivator.
People do fight for revenge. Excellent. Is there anything else that we should know about Evermatter? So the story is about Evermatter, but it's really about the girl who's got the Evermatter.
Okay, so the Fomorians make a sudden resurgence. The Dead Tooth have thought that the Palace was under control, basically peaceful. The Fomorians make a sudden resurgence. So Kira, if you'll go back to the cover, so Kira, the chick in front, she's like she's a redhead badass, is what she is. But she wants to because so Bind Corum, the guy in the back, he made a mistake, and that mistake, that guy right there, he made a mistake.
He looks a little bit like Edwin Boyette.
Yeah, he does. But he's
with a beard. Edwin had a beard for a while.
yeah, sure did. But he is more like a Gandalf character, and but he made a mistake, and he's the one that caused this catalyst that allowed the Fomorians to return. So so he's like trying to live that down, But Kira, her world was destroyed by the Fomorians, so her and him are at odds with each other. And I posted like this cool picture where they're like facing each other. And
so it's really his fault that her world was destroyed.
Yeah.
How does he live with the guilt?
Well, they're forced to work together because this girl, Esme in the back, she finds herself in possession of some Evermatter, so she needs protection from the Fomorians. And then you got Gary in the background with like the Gatling gun, and he's just like shooting everything up. And so, but he, like I said, he's loyal to his friends, and they're protecting Esme from the Fomorians and the baddie, the Raven. Which is the chick in the picture down below.
It's very cool.
So the Fomorians have this cloaking ability. So what you see in the car is he's dropping his cloak, and he's like, she's like, so I wish the lettering was there because Esme's like, your eyes, they look, this first panel, she's like, your eyes, they look weird. He's like, well, I think it's the adrenaline of the kill. And then, he drops his cloak and he's trying to, and of course he's trying to kill her there and get that Evermatter from her.
It's not nice.
That's not nice. No.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
But Esme, she's super powerful. She just don't know it yet. So she's got a hero's journey. She's going to come into her own at some point.
Very cool. The hero's journeys are so crucial. It's so like relatable and interesting. It's what we like about almost every movie that we like, especially adventure.
And there's Gary with his flight jacket, and he's got that Tom Cruise vibe going because he wants to be the Maverick. He thinks he's the best pilot in the galaxy. And
it says Maverick here.
Yeah,
he's crazy. Who is this girl? Is this which is the girl with the sword?
She's I don't want to say her name because everybody's familiar with her, and it's kind of like it's the cliffhanger at the end of the book, so it'd give a lot away. But
is it Cecil?
No, it's
not Cecil.
They do have cloaking ability. So
they do have cloaking
ability. Could possibly be
Cecil.
Cecil under there, but
put him in another book.
She is directing things in the background, so it could be Cecil. I think Cecil's directing everything in the background.
He's running a lot of stuff that we have no idea what's going on. I don't know where he got his crystal from, but it's very powerful.
So if you collect these crystals like she's trying to do, and you have this power and you can live forever. Now you're still mortal. You would die if you were killed or the crystal was destroyed. But you just stop aging. So she could collect more than one.
Oh, cool.
Then she would become even more powerful. And that's what she's doing is she's trying to kill these minds and collect these crystals so that she would become, the most powerful being in the.
Honestly, once I got one
galaxy.
Crystal, I would be out killing everybody for their crystals and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
it's once you get the first one, it's like you may as well go for the rest, and you feel like you're better than everybody. It's
kind of like the Highlander. There can only be one.
It's like the Highlander. That's how I look at it. That's what I'd be doing with my crystals. Because also, if you could get let's say you had a crystal and I have a crystal, which this could happen. It's possible. I would kill you for your crystal. And my attitude would be this. It would be, if Jerry can't keep track of his crystal, then he never deserved to have it in the first place. So I'm doing the universe a benefit to take possession of that crystal.
It's evolution at its finest.
It's evolution.
Taking care of the weak to
just basically, Jerry, I'm a nice guy, but I would hide my crystal if I was you when I come over. Be like, Adam's coming over. Let me just put the crystal he gets crazy. Let me put it in a drawer or something.
Put my Evermatter in the safe.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust me with the crystal. Oh, Kirk asked another good question. Who is the main villain? Good to see you, Kirk.
The main villain is actually the Raven, which is the lady at the bottom of the that we just looked at in the black. You're familiar with
her name away?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I said the lady in the black, but she is the main. She is the main villain, and she's a shapeshifter as well. So.
So she's also here. She's this Raven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's her.
Interesting. Kirk?
But she is an actual shapeshifter. So the Fomorians have a cloaking ability. So the way I see it is like you can change form, and you actually, like, if you change it to a bear, you have the strength of a bear. But if you just cloak yourself to look like a bear, so it's kind of like that kind of deal. But she's
cloak yourself to look like a bear. You look like a bear, but you do not have the strength of a bear. If you shapeshift into a bear, you're a bear.
You're a bear. Yeah. So that's the way I look at it. She kind of helped the Fomorians develop that cloaking ability. So she's so everything that's going on in the galaxy sprung from her and Bon Corum's mistake. So
Kirk is asking tough questions. What is her motivation? /
Pure, unadulterated power. She's wanting power. She's wanting to be able to one day stand against the Nantu Tenon and take over the galaxy, just like the Empire in the Star Wars.
Is she good though, or is she like too obsessed with power?
No, she's not good. There's no good in her. She's totally evil. Yep. Now she manipulates though. She's very manipulative. So you may think that she cares for you at some point, but she doesn't. She's very
she just wants my crystal like you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's how I call them. How I see it. She wants revenge, Kirk. You might have just jumped on, but her big thing is she's going after. She wants revenge.
Okay, so the bad guy. She wants power. She wants to take on the Dantu Tannen so she can rule. Because at the moment, the Dantu Tannen is ruling the galaxy, so she wants to be in that position of power and authority.
So much, it's such a hassle to be to be in control of everything.
It's so much work to try to just rule everything.
It's too much trouble. People always want your position too. Kirk says, "Great looking book." Kirk's an old friend of mine. He has another project on Indiegogo now called Vampirotica. It's a collection of, oh my God, like 25 years worth of his character, Luxor, and other vampire stories too. But Kirk and I
that
go,
Avatar.
Yeah, we go way back. Oh, do you know Luxor?
Do what?
Do you know his character?
I don't know the character, but the Avatar looks really great.
It's his art. Yeah, you can imagine. You can almost imagine.
Mm.
All right, well, we will suggest to everybody to definitely check out this campaign. Share this campaign on social media. It's the right thing to do. It gets the word out. Also, back this campaign. It's a very cool looking campaign. It is a fixed goal. You will get the book. If for some reason it didn't fund, you would get a refund. It's not like my crazy flexible goal stuff. But this book, Jerry's just starting to hit the circuit and get the word out. And Jerry, I wish you luck with this. I'm glad you're very knowledgeable about it. You're passionate about it. You've thought about it a lot. You've got a big story to tell. So this is a great first campaign to get going. And, I think you'll find a lot of people are very interested in helping you do what you're doing. It just takes a little while to kind of learn the ropes. And, your next book is always more successful than your first book, and you can really build this into something. So, as I like to say, welcome to Comicsgate.
Well, thank you, Adam. I've watched several of your videos. I've gotten a lot of advice from your YouTube channel, and I appreciate the content that you put out.
Oh, I appreciate you saying. I do appreciate you saying that. If there's anything in there that helps, some of the stuff I was telling Jim, it's just. Oh, I do have a link to it in the description. Secrets of the Comicsgate Network. It's basically about 40 videos of me just talking about different topics, things I've learned from publishing comics of my own before Comicsgate, but things I've learned up to date now about like getting a Twitter following, promoting your book, setting up an email list, other things like that just you don't have to learn everything on your own. And you'll see everybody around the Comicsgate group, everybody's busy. We're all kind of doing our own thing, but we all try to pitch in and help each other out. And that's how we get great new creators that help us promote, to be honest with you, help us promote our projects and also, help us just build this into a successful, vibrant community so that, we're not any one of us doing this all by ourselves. So it's great to have you in the crew, Jerry. Everybody. Oh, all right. Jim O'Reilly has announced he's made his decision. He'll be back at this tomorrow. Adam, can you shoot me the link to my Twitter? I'll send it to you. Well, can I send it? I'll send it to you for everybody, including Jim. I will send it to Jim specially because you requested it. This is the link to the project. Everyone, please do back Evermatter. Share it on social media too. Get the word out. If people ask what the hell is Evermatter, then you can use my video as well. We just did a pretty fun interview talking about it. I think we covered Evermatter pretty damn well. And let's support this cool project and find more good projects that we can build up Comicsgate with. It'll be great. Yep. All right, guys, you have a great night. It's great having you. Thanks for the support. Kirk, thanks for those great questions. I love to get these like insightful story questions. Sometimes I forget to ask them. So it's very cool to get them. And it also kind of gets you an idea of where the creator is coming from, and it unlocks something about the project when you get them to talk about what they're talking about, what their project's all about.
It makes you think more about your project as well, because sometimes people ask questions that you may not have thought about, and
don't you wonder sometimes? It's cool because it's like, oh, why didn't I mention this before? In some cases, like Kirk maybe didn't come in the beginning too, so he may not have seen your answer to that question. But it's great just to have a great chat. you guys asking questions. We really appreciate it. All right, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks again. I will have another one of these 9 o'clock Comicsgate shows ASAP, most likely tomorrow night. If not, I know Saturday night I have the Samurai Shotgun guy coming on, which has a great trailer. He got me with that. I watched it like the samurai, and he just like gets into a fight. He pulls out a gun and shoots the guy. Love that. So that'll be a cool project. But definitely tonight, let's check out Evermatter, get the word out as much as we can. And if anyone has any helpful advice, can help Jerry out, hit him up on Twitter. Jerry, what's your Twitter?
It's at Jerry Unbound.
Okay. At Jerry
Unbound.
Unbound. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just like in the avatar down there, at Jerry Unbound.
Oh, cool. All right. At Jerry Unbound it is. All right. Have a great night, guys. If I don't see you, I will miss you.